Good Saturday morning. I hope everyone is well. I really do. I hope you're as well as you can be. So, I'm so glad James kept this. President Trump's coronavirus guidelines for America. This comes from the CDC, but they intentionally put Trump's name on it to say that Trump endorsed this, and it tells you all the things you were supposed to do, right? That all the Trumpites were adamantly against every single thing on this list. During that time, I thought, this is the test. This is going to be the worst thing that happens in my lifetime to this country. Boy, was I wrong. I work, I've told you I worked in public service. So if y'all want to dox me, fine, because that's happened to me before. I work in the judicial system. And there's a pro tem named Danielle Havens that has the most integrity and empathy of probably anybody I've ever met. And if only 10% of people became like her, this world would look completely different. Only 10%, not everybody, 10%, maybe 20. I am going to light it up on the 4th of July. I'm already warning everybody. I'm going full out nuclear. And if people don't like what I have to say, I don't care because I'm just telling the truth that they don't want to see. I don't care. But now, to get to the point of this, which in some ways to talk about my writing, sort of. First, I want you to see, I found all my fidget spinners. I have a collection of them, including ones that, well, they used to light up. They don't do it anymore. I guess the battery went dead. My favorite one is the skull and crossbones one. Anyway, I told you about this my early to mid 20s writing, and I read all of it that I'd written down. Some of them were kind of semi poems, but as far as the stories, I didn't realize that I had been so abused by guys I dated. Because, like I said, I saw abuse just like I saw great as black and white. So to me, abuse was physical, screaming and yelling, or berating. But there's so many other forms of abuse. Neglect is abuse. Stonewalling, silent treatment. I just think about these guys, and I hope they're doing well. I don't wish them any ill will. But I just think about these guys, and they're pouting, and they're hoofing, and acting like children when they don't want to have a difficult discussion, or they're mad at me or something. Or like the one guy that, oh, well, I don't want to go on a date with you again tonight. It's boys' night. Okay, fine, it's boys' night. And then all the other boys brought their girl, but I wasn't allowed to go. And to like rub that in my face. He wanted me to know that. So the characters in my books from when I was that young are very, very two-dimensional. And the most superficial character that I've ever written, the books that I've published, her name is Bianca Everduss. And even with sewing being so superficial as she was, she still, when they had to flee to the encampment, when they fled the Dome territory, she had been a teacher before she became superficial, married by contract only to this guy who was homosexual. However, the position he was in didn't allow for that, so it was a cover marriage. And then after cover marriage and thrice. But I don't want to talk about thrice. Even with her being so superficial and only caring about what she looked like and all the men she could run around with, and the fact that every single day she felt entitled to go to these certain places and eat, when it came down to it, she took in those kids and tried to teach them the best that she could and protect them. So already my most superficial character is three-dimensional, where I used to write two-dimensional characters. Let me look at my notes. So, in They Called Her Morlock, there was a scene that Serena referenced in her journal Well, she was bullied in school, and the kids just despised her. And I think it wasn't because she had albinism, and it wasn't so much because her face was kind of odd in proportion. It was because she was very intelligent, and she a little smug. She a little smug. None of my characters are perfect, and one of her flaws is being smug and being arrogant almost. And some of the kids just hated her for it. So she was in, which I write in kind of a side story. She was in seventh period physical education. So that's the last period of the day. So she would always take a shower after any kind of working out really hard in gym, because she had to be the parent and be the mom, be the maid. So she would have to, after she left school, she'd like have to run by the store and pick up some things, and she didn't want to go in the store all sweaty and dirty because she valued cleanliness. So one day, these kids that didn't like her hatched this plan with a challenged student to go take a picture of her while she's in the shower with the Polaroid Insta camera and get the photograph, and it got passed all around the school, and she just was very traumatic. That's why she dropped out of school. As soon as she turned 16, she got, well, I got to take care of my family, blah, blah, blah. That's my exemption. I'm dropping out of school. She cried herself to sleep for months. That was very traumatizing. So that's why I'm wearing it. And then I don't think I mentioned in the Prima Genial anything about a Polaroid. I might have. I need to reread that again, and because I'm going to have to upload edits because it's poorly edited. In Thrice, the Polaroid comes in when Gemma takes a picture of Sebastian in 1986 when they're in Jacksonville and they're on tour with Thrice band, and they're hiding in the bathtub with the flying cockroaches, and she just thinks it's funny, and she takes a Polaroid of him. So that's where that came in. Really thought this was going to be longer than it was, but this is probably going to be a 2-video weekend. And one more thing I want to show you guys. This is a cooler, and the reason I bought this was because since I now have this lovely office, I don't have to walk down to Forelli's to put my laptop on a clean surface and write. I have it here. So I'm just going to bring the Forelli's, so to speak, up to my office. I'm going to bring, 2 and 3 cans of beer, a can of water, maybe a jasmine tea, some snacks, so I can just sit up here for hours and not have to walk up and down the stairs to get refills. I hope everybody has a good one. We're not doing anything really today except waiting on the plumber because we got some plumbing issues. Man, my throat is so scratchy from allergies that I can't even control this accent today. It's too hard to talk. Everybody have a good one.